Imagine you buy the swimsuit edition. You wait for it all year long. You get to May. You want to see the hot models in bikinis. You're like, all right, let me look at this chick. And then you realize it's a dude. The betrayal.
Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Brett Cooper. What went wrong with Sports Illustrated? Obviously, when they started putting those plus-size models on their swimsuit editions. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
Welcome back to the comment section.
I didn't realize they put men on those things.
I'm Brett Cooper. We are finally back in the studio after 7 days of the Nashville snowpocalypse. I'm very happy to be back, even though it was fun to record in my house and have my dogs 4 feet away in my favorite coffee machine. Anyway.
I called it. I said this year was going to be a cold, cold year.
But we are back. We are very much back in the studio. We're going to be talking about going woke and going broke today. So that phrase, go woke, go broke, get woke, go broke, however you say it, it's been incredibly relevant for the last 4 years, but now we are seeing it in action more than ever. It's become less of a threat from consumers and more of a reality for businesses. And we have a new victim we're discussing today, Sports Illustrated. Before we dive into this though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section episode. Alrighty, so if you spent any
I gotta say one thing is, she has a major makeup team. Her freaking face looks flawless.
Time on Twitter last week, you probably saw that the 70-year-old iconic sports magazine, Sports Illustrated, laid off basically its entire publication staff in one day. Here's an ABC News article about that. Sports Illustrated's publisher terminates most of its staff in mass layoff, union says. The publication.
It sucks for the people that are getting laid off, but this is what you did yourself with Sports Illustrated. You wanted to push a narrative. You wanted to push something that wasn't what your consumers wanted.
Staff received layoff notices on Friday, the union said. And most people were done on that day. There were a couple people that had in their contracts that they had to have more notice, but basically everybody was done on that Friday. They packed up, they went home.
What would you say you do here?
And this is a huge crash, considering that Sports Illustrated was once considered the end-all be-all of sports journalism, but not anymore. People on Twitter immediately started suggesting that this could have something to do with the direction that Sports Illustrated has taken since going under new ownership 4 years ago. A direction where they started putting biological men with boobs on their covers. Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue has a...
I didn't know that. I didn't know they put trans men on, or trans women, whatever you want to call them, on the swimsuit models. Like, what the fuck? I don't care for Sports Illustrated, but when I was a kid, it was the shit.
Trans model on the cover for the first time. And this caused a major uproar, rightfully so, in 2021. So they decided to do it again in 2023 because it was such a success. And for this swimsuit edition, they put Kim Petras, a trans singer, on the cover of their magazine.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Somebody commented and said, weird, almost as if men really don't want to look at other men in swimsuits. Personally, I'm shocked. Can you believe that? This is what I would call a bait and switch. They will not lie to you. Unlike the cover of this Sports Illustrated magazine. But that wasn't all they did. Amidst the body positivity movement taking off, they also started featuring heavier women on the cover of and inside their swimsuit editions. Here's one example of this.
You know what? I'm not a fan of they put a heavier woman on there. It's kind of not what it's kind of made for. I don't think she's truly that bad looking overall, but she is a chunky woman, and most people don't see this as attractive. I'm okay with this, like if this was my partner, but I don't think most men would be. And to tell the truth, I would still prefer a little bit slimmer than this. I always said it. I like a little chunk. I like a little chubs.
From 2022, and this is not objectively a bad thing. Like, she looks beautiful, her makeup looks stunning. I mean, she's fantastic, but they were doing this to try to be politically progressive and inclusive. And it really doesn't make much sense because this is Sports Illustrated, and since its beginning, it has been about highlighting, number one, athletes, and number two, insanely fit and toned and beautiful swimsuit models on the cover. It does not make sense, and it just came out of left field. A far cry from this male-oriented magazine that...
Yeah, exactly. Male-oriented magazine. It's literally called Sports Illustrated, so it's the visual of sports. Who is the main demographic of sports? It's men. Why would you put men with bathing suits on a cover of a magazine that men like to read? Like, you're just killing yourself.
once only cared about sports and then once a year cared about hot, in-shape athletic babes. None of it makes sense. And obviously, changing their priorities did not work out well for them.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Somebody commented and said, your conclusion is wrong. This was evidently caused by climate change and the patriarchy. That is probably what they'll say.
True.
So true. Now, you might be thinking, Brett, did this really happen because they put some less than ideal people on their covers? Not really, because not only did they make some bad cover model choices due to this overtly progressive political climate, but they also stopped accepting money from sponsors and advertisers who weren't on board with their new socio-political agenda. They literally gave themselves a death sentence. I first saw Nicole Arbor tweet about this in a comment section. SI's woke team stopped.
Wait, so advertisers and everybody said, we don't want to deal with this, and they said, fuck you, we're still going to do it, and they did it, and now they're broke. Idiots.
Stopped accepting big sponsors for the biggest issue and instead said the sponsors had to be making social good. They literally killed their own business. This was just a comment under a random post, but it did not take more than 5 minutes to Google and find this, and she is absolutely right. This is from Adweek. Sports Illustrated Swimsuit promotes gender equality with new advertising requirements. Only serious change makers will get to do business with the legacy platform. And they wrote, the need for gender equality is at such a critical point that one platform is willing to give up ad dollars to fight for it. How did that work out for you?
Bankruptcy!
How did that work out? You gave up all your money. Sports Illustrated to promote and encourage gender equality. It was 2021. Was the fight really that important? It was not. What could I not do in 2021? Sports Illustrated. Okay. Sports Illustrated Swimsuit announced a new advertising mandate, which will only allow brands driving the cause forward to be featured in the magazine's annual print issue, as well as across its digital footprint. Again,
It's so crazy that they're trying to push this agenda with this body positivity and all these things. But again, those things affect women, right? And it affects women greatly, which you are a men's publication.
pretty cool how that worked out for them. They really thought this was going to be a win, but it was certainly a swing and a miss.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
I wonder if Bud Light ever got on board with that and sponsored them. It seems like they could be really aligned with their values, truly. Anyway, the point is, the magazine has been losing money for years. They've been making terrible decisions for years. They've had their fair share of controversies, like back in November, it was revealed that they were using AI to write a bunch of their articles. The CEO was fired back in December, and I'm sure it didn't help that print is slowly dying. But you know what? They could have brought it back with hot, real women in bikinis.
They could have
done
yeah.
it anyway. All of these bad financial decisions made it so the publishing group that runs Sports Illustrated couldn't make their $4 million a month payment to the owner of the brand. So the company that owns them revoked their licensing deal. The brand still technically exists, it is still there, but that publisher at this point cannot operate or publish the magazine, hence all the layoffs. And the media has been completely focused on that specific thing, including the community notes on Twitter, and has avoided asking any questions to figure out why they missed that payment and why the owners would just immediately revoke their business license and bring the magazine to a screeching halt. You don't do that with a successful brand that is raking in the dough every month. You wouldn't just stop a 70-year-old legacy magazine from being printed. And it seems like that would be a very important part of the story, but it probably doesn't fit into the agenda they have, because the reason why they're not making money is because they fell into that pitfall. And as a result, every mainstream media story about this is incredibly superficial. It is incredibly surface level, but that is most journalism these days, so no one's really surprised. But Sports Illustrated made their bed, and now they have to lie in it.
Know your place, trash.
That's the story. And even though I am very pleased that consumers are making these brands feel the consequences of their dumb political and business decisions, it also sucks to see legacy brands fall. As all of this was happening, Tim Pool tweeted about this very feeling, and he said that it really feels like a cultural revolution right now. And sadly, there will be victims. And Sports Illustrated is just the latest one.
Phew, that was a damn good chow. Shout out to Brett Cooper. Sports Illustrated used to be the most dominant thing in men's lives. Now you became a footnote in history because of the decisions they made to want to appeal to the woke mobs. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.